What's up, everyone? Lewis Howes here, and I'm with one of my good friends, Derek Halpern, aka I call him the Mighty Midget, but he's way bigger in person and online than he is actually his size. So, aka the Mighty Midget, Derek Halpern, he is the man that teaches people how to get lots and lots of traffic to their site. If they don't know how to get traffic, he teaches them how to do that. If they do get traffic, he teaches them how to convert that traffic into customers that buy over and over and over again and buy lots of stuff. So Derek Halpern is the man. He's worked with a lot of big names like Chris Brogan, teaching them how to optimize their site for conversions. He speaks at all conferences all over the world with some of the biggest names as well, and he's one of my best friends. So I'm excited to have Derek educate me, because we talk a lot about conversions online, but I'm sure there's a lot that he keeps away from me because he's got some tricks in the bag that he probably doesn't want me to know about. But today, I'm going to make him let everyone know about him with some information on my site. So he's the man from socialtriggers.com. I've got it up right here. Make sure you guys go there. Click here and get updates, because all of his emails are unbelievable. I wish I could share content like he does. It's really great stuff. He teaches you all about how to convert your website, and it's a really great blog. You can see there's hundreds of comments on pretty much every post. So make sure you go there. Lots of great stuff. But today, we're going to be talking about my site and how I should be optimizing it. And also, it's going to be a site review, but I think you're going to get a lot out of just seeing what I could do on my site, and you could apply this to your site as well. So a lot of this is going to apply for you, but I'm going to let Derek kind of pretty much pick my site apart as we go into this little quick interview. So what's up, Derek?
Hey, what's up, Lewis? I'm really excited to be doing this with you, and I just got to clarify one thing. Everyone is small next to you. You've been drinking milk, what, every day of the week since you're like 2.
I stopped drinking dairy recently, but I used to drink lots of milk, so.
Yeah, it shows, it shows. All right, so as Lewis was saying, I mean, Lewis is obviously the man when it comes to building websites and a profitable business. But the one thing that I'm noticing that on his site is he has a lot of opportunities for improvement. And as he said, most of these opportunities are things that people tend to overlook because they're so small. But I mean, as you know, small things can have big impacts on conversion rates. So we're just going to kind of walk through this stuff, talk about how he can really get more emails to his site, and I want everyone to take notes, because a lot of these tips that I'm going to be telling Lewis can be applied to almost every niche. And I don't want to say it's like a magic bullet, because that'd be irresponsible, but I haven't found a niche or a website topic where this type of advice hasn't worked yet. So nice. I'm just going to jump right in, all right, Lewis?
And quick disclaimer, Derek and his team with Chris Pearson over at DIY Themes and Thesis Theme hooked my site up and pretty much optimized it recently. They transferred it over to what you see right now. And I still wanted to make some improvements here and there, but I wanted to just get it over to where it is now, at least from what I had before. So they're the ones who hooked it up. So if you think my site looks amazing, make sure you guys go sign up for Thesis, because that's what it's that's the framework it's on. So just quick disclaimer.
All right, so let's really just jump into all this right now.
Let's do it.
When you go to lewishowes.com, the first thing people see is your feature box, where you have a nice picture of you, and to the right of that, get email updates, and then it talks about a little bit of a description of what you offer people,
right,
and you ask for an email.
Right.
Now, for the first tip here is, everyone knows I love feature boxes. Feature boxes convert extremely high, and if you're not using a feature box like Lewis has, you should consider implementing one, because of the extremely high conversion rates.
Okay.
Now, I only think the feature box should be shown on the home page, because if you show it on every page, that could get a little obnoxious. However, it might be really good for just pulling in some extra emails. But Lewis only has it on the home page, so we're going to stick with that for a second. First tip, I think you can improve the conversion rate of that form by putting a more descriptive headline in that feature box. Right now, all it says is get email updates. That's not really that persuasive.
Right.
Also, you want to put the copy and make the copy more persuasive. Right now, your copy in that box is very me-centric. It talks about you and why you're so great, but it doesn't tell people what they get out of signing up to your list.
Right.
Are they going to get weekly updates? Are they going to get, what kind of updates are they going to get, you know? So that's the first tip. You got some really good social proof elements there with the logos.
Yep.
I think the logos might be a little bit too loud.
Really?
And you might want to experiment with maybe making those same exact logos black and white.
Interesting.
Just to kind of de-emphasize the importance of the logos there.
Okay.
And then last tip that I want to talk about for this feature box is I've been testing this on socialtriggers.com, where if you go to my site, you see my feature box, you notice right underneath my feature box, the sign up part, it says, "I'm totally loving Social Triggers" by Chris Brogan.
Yeah.
The reason why I have that there is because, you know, a nice testimonial from a well-known person like Chris Brogan would naturally increase conversion rates. And I know you know a lot of smart people. I think you should try to find a testimonial to feature right below the opt-in button on your feature box.
Nice.
Now, this is a really good tip because when people are about to take action, there's always some reservations. They're always thinking, is this the right move? Now, you've got the logos there showing that, yes, Lewis is the man. You've got some descriptions about you showing, again, Lewis is the man. But you don't have that really third-party quote that might really seal the deal for some people.
Gotcha.
And I know some people tend to overlook these quotes, but I've seen firsthand that when people sign up to my email list, they actually comment on the fact that I have that quote there.
Wow.
You know, a lot of people have called that out to me, so I know it's working.
Okay.
All right. So that's the first tip, is really streamlining that feature box. Now, here's another problem with blogging in general, actually. Blogs are great at highlighting all your new content, but they're horrible at highlighting your old content. And I know what types of articles you write, Lewis. You write a lot of good stuff, and just because you wrote something a year ago doesn't mean it isn't good, you know, good advice today.
Right.
And right now, there's no real easy way to find the stuff in your archives. There's no way to highlight your most important information. And I've told a lot of people this now on a lot of different site reviews that I've done. I call these resource pages. You need to create some resource pages. And the reason, like I said, it's just insanely valuable because there's a little tip. Actually, I haven't shared this with anyone yet, so this is new for now. And what I want to call out is when you create a resource page and you compile content around a specific topic. For example, you might have LinkedIn Marketing 101, because I know you're the LinkedIn guy. Link 5 or 10 articles that you have about LinkedIn. Make that a resource page and then promote that like in your sidebar. Maybe get free email updates, opt-in form, then below that you could have resources to some pages that you created with those types of LinkedIn Marketing 101. And then on those pages, there's a formula that I follow for creating those pages.
Okay. Now, would I put a tab at the top, like around about speaking contact, or would that just be separate on the sidebar?
Okay, so you can do two ways. You can put it at the top, but I suspect that you're going to be able to make between 4 and 5 resource pages, and putting it at the top would overload your navigation.
Right.
In your particular design, I think you're better off putting a list of links right below your get free email updates.
On the right-hand side, above popular articles?
Above popular articles, yes.
Okay, cool.
So here's the formula that I give people for creating these persuasive resource pages. You want each page to be a separate WordPress page with a persuasive headline, some introductory content, links to 5 to 10 articles, and then an opt-in form.
I'm looking at building an email list 101 on your site right now. Is that as an example?
That is a perfect example of a resource page. And that page, actually, if you notice, you see the retweet count on the left there?
95.
Yeah, so check this out. You're going to love this. When I first whipped together my resource page, I made a big deal about it. I whipped together only 3 articles on my site about list building. I then emailed my list saying, hey, I just whipped together these 3 articles into a nice little easy to digest resource page. Take a look at it. I told my list about it. They then went and shared this resource page on Twitter and on Facebook. Just announcing the fact that I created this resource page to my list got me a few hundred extra opt-ins to my email list that I would not have had. And all I did was announce that I packaged up content I already had and gave it to them in an easy to digest format. So when you start creating these resource pages, the key is you want to create one and then tell people about it.
Okay.
Then maybe wait 2 weeks, create another one, tell people about it. And what's going to end up happening is people are going to be so overwhelmed with the amount of value that you're giving them that they can't help but sharing that stuff on social media. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you use a specific landing page template for this, or is it just all through Thesis that you created this?
All right. So I actually had coded up some special stuff, but what you can do, you can actually just use when you create a regular WordPress page, you can just do the no sidebars option.
Gotcha.
And that'll be able to get rid of the sidebar on that page.
Gotcha.
But with mine, I eliminated the navigation, And I also got rid of comments. I got rid of a lot of other distractions because I wanted that page to be siloed towards list building.
Gotcha.
As you can see, and it converted pretty well for me.
Nice.
So first step is doing those changes to the feature box. Get the more persuasive copy, put a quote under the get access today, and maybe gray out the logos. Next step is create these content resource pages. This is vitally important, and I think you can get about 4 or 5 of them. List them underneath your get free email updates. The last part I want to talk about right now with regards to this type of conversion is to go to your single post page for a second. Like when you go on, let's look at that Nick Patera article right now.
Okay.
At the bottom of your Nick Patera article, you have a tweet button and a share button, right?
Right.
Now here's the issue. If someone makes it to the bottom of your article, they're often looking for what they can do next.
Right.
Right now, you give them the tags, but those tags are relatively useless. I mean, people are going to click that. There might be 1 or 2 articles there.
Right.
Instead, you're better off just putting an opt-in form right at the bottom of each article. You know, I do that at Social Triggers as a small little opt-in. The overall percentage conversion on that form is low. It's not a high conversion rate. However, the reason why it's so low is because very few people actually make it to the end of an article.
Right.
But if they do make it to the end of the article, that means they really like you, they love your content, they love what you're about. What better time to ask for an email address?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So add a call to action at the end of an article.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, another tip that I want to talk about is, let's take a look at your About page. Here's another. This is something that everyone listening to this video can benefit from.
Okay.
When you have an About page, you need to have, there's no calls to action on your About page. If people are interested enough to learn to read about you, why not ask them for action? You know, like, I tend to use a quick formula. I mean, you don't have to use this formula for people listening. I do a quick little introduction about what my site is and what people can get out of it. Then I put an opt-in form. Then I put some testimonials, another opt-in form. Then I put about me personally. Because even though people want to learn about me, that's not really what they want to learn about. They want to learn how I can help them.
Right.
So that's the format I use. But for you, you're running lewishouse.com, so it can be a little bit more personal in nature because you are using your name.com. I do think you need to sprinkle some opt-in forms somewhere throughout this.
Okay.
Or maybe even a promise right at the beginning, like, you know, life should be lived passionately, otherwise we're all playing by another person's game. Read my site, you'll learn X, Y, and Z opt-in form, and here's the more personal bio. Then you can kind of go into your more personal biography.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's another thing. This is something that everyone listening to this can probably take advantage of, is adding opt-in forms to the About pages. It generates so many emails on socialtriggers.com, I can't even, you know, my copy there isn't even that strong yet. And it still generates a ton of emails for Social Triggers.
Wow. Okay.
All right, let's take a look at your store page.
Oh, I need to work on this big time.
Yes. Now,
this is way outdated. I know. Yeah.
I'm in love with you, man. This needs a lot of work.
Yeah, I know.
The first thing I would do on this page is, you're going to notice, if you look at your stats, that this page is probably getting a lot of clicks.
And I'm not converting it at all.
You're not converting anything. So what I would do is I would turn this page into a no sidebars template, so that people, you know, all they see there is your projects. And then create some nice looking images. You know, show a picture of your product to the left, do a quick description about what that product is and what people can get out of it, then do a link to the product page. You know, just break down your stuff.
Right.
Just so people know what you're doing here.
Right.
And also, I know you also run webinars relatively regularly. On the store page, you can even start off right at the top, free upcoming webinar, like, and promote your webinars on the store page.
Yeah, I've got that at the very bottom, but it's like all the way at the bottom, so it probably doesn't matter.
Exactly. Exactly. I would definitely, you know, this needs to be worked on.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Cool. So I guess let's break that down for a second for people listening. The reason why he has to get rid of the sidebars on this page is because if people are clicking on store, their intent is to visit a store. Right now, when I click on store, what do I get? I kind of get like an article almost. I don't really see things to buy. So it's all about what I call channeling intent. When people click on a link, they intend to see something. You have to picture what they're going to see and then give them that.
Okay.
So that's what we're talking about, why we're going to make no sidebars to eliminate distractions, and then show off exactly what they expect to see, which is products, because the name of the link is store.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at your speaking page. I think your speaking page is real good. I would eliminate the comments on this page.
Okay.
The reason why is, again, because right now, I would eliminate the comments, and I would actually eliminate the Twitter button and the Facebook share button. And this is an issue that a lot of people tend to have when they're newer sites. You don't have it on all your blog articles, which are very well shared. But when you're dealing with, when you have those social icons appearing on every single page of your site, when you have low numbers, that's like negative social proof. People, like, you know, if someone's thinking about hiring you as a speaker, they see the fact that this page has 1 tweet, 3 Facebook shares. They know that that stuff really doesn't matter, you know, when it comes to speaking, but it might have some subconscious effect on them where they might make a decision and use that to decide that you're not right for the position, or they might try to offer you less money because they don't realize. Like, if this speaking page had 5,000 tweets,
then it's good.
You know, it's good, but, and also, people will say that it doesn't affect them, but I would love to test this. I would love to get data on this, but I'm willing to bet that the higher the tweet count, the more money you can get for a speaking engagement for some reason.
It's true.
So I would work on getting rid of the social media buttons on your pages that have very little shares.
Okay.
All right, let's take a look at so we talked about the contents. Your footer is actually really good, and another reason, as we talked about with the single post articles, when people get to the bottom of your article, they're looking for what they can do next. If people get down to your footer, that means they're really engaged in your site, and again, they're going to be looking for what to do next. So another great place for an email sign-up form is the footer of your site. You have one there because, you know, we put together your site for you, but for people who are listening, they need an opt-in form in the footer also. I tend to put a picture of myself, like you have a picture of yourself in the footer, because again, if they get down there, they're probably interested in you and your website. That's why you give it to them.
Right.
All right. Now, here is my last tip.
What about the contact page? Does that matter?
You know,
It is what it is.
do you get people contacting you all the time?
I get about 5 a week through this form.
Yeah. I would just get rid of the comments on the contact page. I would also get rid of the sidebar.
Okay.
But yeah, generally I tend to not optimize my contact pages because I don't really like when people contact me through it. Most people who use the contact form are spammers, and there's some people who are legitimate, which is why I have it. But I find that I get very little results through it.
Cool.
All right, and I have one more tip for you, and this has to do with once you create those content buckets, those resource pages.
Right.
The trick is when you write articles, you always want to be interlinking your articles that are related to those resource pages and actually link to those resource pages. Because here's the deal: when you write content does real well on social media. It gets some traffic. You'll notice that your content pages are your most popular pages. The reason why you want to link these resource pages is because those resource pages are going to be more tailor-made for conversion, whereas content pages aren't. So the goal is when you start creating these resource pages, you're going to use your content to get the traffic, and then send that traffic to your resource pages to convert.
Gotcha.
So that's about building the interlinking structure of your site. That way, I mean, if you go to one of my single post articles on social triggers, you'll notice that I got those 3 big images in the sidebar. I'm actually going to remove the images soon because they're not performing as well as I want them to be.
Really?
But they get to the page, I try to then send them to opt-in pages as fast as possible, because if they're reading the content and I get them to click to an opt-in page like my About page with opt-ins on it, or my Building an Email List page, they're no longer cold traffic, they're warm traffic. And warm traffic you can be a little bit more aggressive with than cold traffic because they're expecting, they already like you.
Right.
So it's easier to get them to give up an email.
Okay.
All right, I mean, that's pretty much it, Lewis. I mean, you have a great site, you're doing a lot of things right, and this will really help you take maybe from getting 100 opt-ins, maybe this can get you another 100 opt-ins a day.
Nice. So what I'm getting away from this so far is that each page needs to have a call to action. Like each tab at the top. It needs to have a call to action or an opt-in somewhere. Also have a call to action at the bottom of every post. And
the big thing is the content, the resource pages. Okay. Every single blog that creates content that's evergreen needs these resource pages. You need them.
Okay.
You absolutely need these pages. This is a key for building a blog that converts, because if people are reading one article, they're going to see the resource, they'll click on the resource, they'll be like, oh my god, this guy's got so much great content, let me subscribe.
Okay.
The resource pages are key. They're key.
Okay, perfect. So get resource pages and more calls to action, and then just tweak and optimize a little bit of everything else, and should be good to go, huh?
Yeah, with the quotes underneath to get access today, a little testimonial.
I like that.
That has worked great for me. I can't even tell you. I wish I had the exact numbers, but it's been doing really well.
I'm going to optimize that. I can see my light box, or my opt-in box at the top there. What do you call that again?
The feature box.
Feature box. Yeah, I can see my copy isn't really persuasive enough, and my headline's kind of lame, and so I can really see optimizing that might help me get more opt-ins every day just from optimizing that alone, even so.
Yeah, I mean, didn't you used to give out some LinkedIn training or something along those lines?
Yeah, I give away some free videos, yeah.
So you got to just say that in that. You got to sign up to this, get these 4 free LinkedIn videos. I don't know if you want to just build a LinkedIn audience. You already kind of have that audience.
Yeah.
So maybe you could figure out a way to give them something else.
Right.
But
exactly. Yeah, that's some good advice, man. I appreciate it. This is good stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be good. I mean, you don't even have to worry. A lot of people stress about what they can give their people, their traffic for an email. I've Social Trigger's been around for a few months now. I haven't gave people anything. I just tell people, if you sign up, you're going to learn how to turn random traffic into loyal subscribers, persuade people to buy your products, and encourage people to share your content. And it's just making something that's intangible a little bit more tangible to people, which is why I think my feature box converts about 10%.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Good stuff.
I'm going to optimize this to the T of what you said, and hopefully get this done soon. Then you can do another one of these and tell me what if I fixed it all and how it looks, and I can relay back to you the conversions I'm getting. So awesome, my man. Everyone, make sure you guys go check out socialtriggers.com. Go opt in here if you want some sweet tips like I just got. Derek gives these out pretty much on a weekly basis, so go ahead and opt in right here where I'm circling. Click on the get updates. You're only going to get great content from Derek. He's one of the best guys I know when it comes to delivering good value via email. Make sure you open every single one of those, because everything he says is a gem. Go over to socialtriggers.com. Check him out at Twitter, at Derek Halpern. And he's got Facebook and everything else. You can find out more about him on his About page. Make sure to say hi to him and share this video to your entire networks, because they need to see how to optimize their own website. So, Derek, you the man, and I will talk to you soon, my brother.
Hey, awesome. Thanks for having me, Lewis.
Thanks, bro.